Hey everyone, Scott with Air Gunner Reviews. So it has been a week since I first reviewed this and tested it. Now I have multiple tests, so I have multiple things to go over, try to do it very quickly for you. But the first thing I want to address is your receipt. Make sure you are printing out your invoice. Every invoice is going to have an order ID number, and you want to make sure that you have that, because if you have a problem with your launcher, especially this one coming from many different companies, you want to have that. You have 1 year warranty. So instead of taking this thing apart and looking over, send it right back to the to wherever you purchased it from. The only thing I would say, if you got a little air coming out of here, maybe try to tighten that up a little. But other than that, don't mess with it. Send it back and make sure that you are printing this out. As far as the manual, because some places give you a manual, some places don't. Defense Innovations gives you the manual. Now the manual is not shipped in the box. I noticed that this was sitting on top of the box. Instruction manual is nice to have, Defense Innovations, and I am not sponsored. I'm just letting you know that's where everything lies, is in here, and it's good to have one. All right, with that, I have tested this thing multiple times. How many times? Well, I'm going to tell you. I have a whole box of CO2s that I have put through this, and I put it through and it has run flawlessly. No leaks, no anything with it. The next part of this that I want to go over are some of the Chrono numbers. I have chronographed this multiple times. I've watched other people's YouTube videos regarding it, and there's some interesting comments. I want to address those really quickly. The first one is that some of the comments on some of the videos are the Mercury Rise version of this, the Intro Buster, is more powerful. I have seen where that has gotten over 50 joules, yet some of the videos, YouTube videos I've seen of the Pixels only getting 40 or 42. The numbers are all over the place. And is that true? Well, yeah, kind of. Okay, so you are in the boundaries of a 12-gram CO2. So whatever happens basically is happening with the CO2, not so much so the Pistelle. And I'm going to go over some numbers. So what I don't want you to do is get so you're only looking at those top numbers. And I even see YouTubers doing it, because they're saying, well, I'm only getting 44 joules, and so got 50 joules. Well, now you have to look at the bigger picture, guys. Again, you are looking at, these are 3 tests, and I did this test 3, test 2, test 1. Test 1 was my original review, so that it was already on there. So I'm doing it kind of backwards, but it's how I tested them and how I put it together in my video. So I don't want to confuse it by making test 1, test 2, test 3. This is my oldest one right here. Test 1, you can see I had 44 joules as my top number, and it very consistent. And the one thing I have to say about the Pistelle or about the Salt S2, okay, so these take high volumes of air, and CO2 loves high volumes of air. It's more consistent when you're only getting, with this, you're going to get 5 plus 1 in the chamber, that's 6. And with the Pistelle, you can do 6 with 1 in the chamber, making it 7. And CO2 loves that. And I can't tell you why, but you definitely get much better numbers with high volumes of air being shot out at one time. It's just a fact. I mean, it really is. And based on I will put it this way, based on my findings. All right, so let's get back to this. Test 3, my last one, 51 joules. The one before that, 46, and the one before that, 44. Now, there's an important note here. Each one of these are taking on a different day. They're not consecutive. Let it warm up really good for a whole day. So, the tests are accurate to as far as you can go, as far as accuracy in the same temperatures and et cetera. And, as much as I could do to keep this as accurate as possible. So 51 joules, 46, 44 joules. That was my first test, second, and then third. Now you're going to say, well, oh, look at it, kept going up each time. Not quite. And it doesn't matter. So got 44 here at the first one, but 51 here. 51, 47, 44. And I'm going to get to this point of why when you see this, does this top number really matter? Well, it really, really doesn't. And the reason why is it's the average. You're talking in the boundaries of a CO2. CO2 can only do what it can do. These are not regulated pistols. So when you look at the average, you take all 7 of these and you add them up, and then you divide it by 7. That gives you your average joules on each marker. And I will show you what we have. Test 3, 38.85. Test 2, 39.71. Test 3, 38.28. So you are looking at averagely everything being almost as equal as CO2 can give you. So that right there is what you should be looking at. Don't get caught up in those top numbers, 51 and 44. Because what happens here is you get 51. Okay, so that's like eating a pizza and you get the biggest slice of the pie, and the last guy who's going to get it has a smaller piece of pie. That's only 23 joules down here. Which one would I like to see in a marker? Well, yeah, if you only, if you're only going to shoot this 3 times at somebody, yeah, the 51, 47, 44 would give you the most amount of power to hit somebody. But within these two, the numbers are much more even. 44, 41, 39, 38, 37, 35, 34. You can't beat those type of numbers. You have a 38 over 38 joule average. Is 38 joules enough? Yes, it becomes a liability. If you are wearing this on your site and you're using it and you are causing blood force trauma because or you broke a bone, you're going to be liable for that if you can't prove that was in self-defense. So that's what I have to say about that. Don't get tied up into those numbers. It's just not worth it for you. And another interesting thing about test 3, what I've got the top numbers of 51 and these higher numbers at the top, I let this, I punctured this and I let it sit for 25 minutes. So basically I wanted to see how the seals would react if I would damage the seals by doing it. But that's when I noticed, and I think what happens with this is probably a 2-part thing. The CO2 goes in, it fills up the chamber, it has a little bit of time to reach full capacity. And then secondly is, as it goes in, it freezes, very cold, but then because now it's expanded its area, it might have started warming up a little bit. That it doesn't take, that's how CO2 is, a little cold and your numbers aren't so good, a little warmth, your numbers look great. So I think that is part of why I've got the 51. These here I punctured and I pretty much so shot them. Other than that, guys, I think you were going to go out and you can watch these 3 videos. I think you'll like it. And then at the end of these, you're going to find an accuracy test. I shot this to the best of my ability. I'm older, and of course, I have to remove my glasses to put safety glasses on. So it may not be as perfect as what you could do. But I would say this. Over any other marker that I've shot, it's like the Berna and the Salt, you'll see like a spread of like an 8-inch pie of shots. This thing is like one on top of the other, pretty much so. You'll see it. Anyhow, guys, enjoy, and that's all I had to say. Reliability has been amazing. I'm enjoying this. I think it's a great launcher. I have no complaints about it whatsoever. All right, enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, another day, another test. Now this time I have left this charge for about 25 minutes now, just to see how it's going to react, if I'm going to hurt a seal, whatever that could happen. I wouldn't recommend keeping that charged. You should really discharge it as soon as you prime it. But I just wanted to see how the seals would hold up, the O-ring. See what kind of numbers we pull again. 372. You know, maybe keeping this charged may give you better results. 358. 346. 330. There's the drop. 318. 288. Any more? I don't remember now. Yes. 254. Maybe it. Oh wow. Totally out. Unless I damaged it. I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything left in here? There is, and I just heard the bolt reset, so that's a good thing. Well, that was an interesting test. Apparently, and this is the first time I tried that, apparently letting it sit for a little while, maybe you shouldn't do 15 minutes or 20 minutes, but letting it sit, maybe, you know, comes in here, charges, maybe warms up a little bit. I'm not too sure. Now I have to check. I think that's about the most powerful I've seen this yet. We are ready to go. Putting on my ear protection. Let's see what some numbers look like. Here we go. $358. 350. 338. 332. 322. 318. 312. That might be the last one. It is. Okay. There we have it. First is we're going to put glasses on, and I understand this is very loud, so we're also going to put ear protection on as well. Things first, before we do that, I want to test it for leaks, make sure there's no leaks. $346. Ooh, that is loud. $336. $328. $322. $316. Pretty consistent. I don't remember how many shots here. $308. $304. That's it. Okay, next up is accuracy. There we go. And of course, my skill level isn't all that great, but we're going to give it a try. Going to go right for the center red and see what happens. 18 feet away. Shot 1. Shot 2. Shot 3. Shot 4. Shot 5. Shot 6. Shot 7. All right, let's take a look. The problem is, First of all, not only can I hear it, but I can't really see. I can see the big red target, but I can't tell where the projectiles actually landed on the target. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, so out of 7, that is probably my worst one. My point of aim was here, but my grouping is really good, and that's what you got to be concerned about. So what that tells me is that my sight has to be below here in order to put it here. I was actually putting my sight on the X. So, yeah, I believe that's a really good grouping. I mean, for my skill level, and that's a good grouping. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. You guys take care.